because they're here. They need to know that you can be an adult and still have fun and do things and great things for the district. So welcome again. The time now is 6:09.
Thank you, sir.
And Mr. Secretary, please take the roll call.
Thank you. Vice President Bowman,
Present.
Treasurer David Smith,
Present.
President Garrett.
Present.
I'm here. Trustee Hannah,
Present.
Trustee Terry,
Present.
and Trustee Turpin.
Present.
Sir, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steal us. Right. Yeah.
Since we were kids.
Okay, I need a motion on the floor, and you should have a note to add to the agenda under regular working agenda, General Counsel Human Resource item, a discussion item, and action item. The proposed Pontiac Parapro Educator Instructors Association, short for PPIA Collective Bargaining Agreement. I need to move that motion under the regular working agenda.
Support.
So moved by Turpin, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns?
So this is to approve the movement of these two items to the regular board
Yep.
agenda.
Yep, so there'll actually be discussion item, it'll be B under General Counsel Human Resources.
Yes.
It's going to actually go for discussion, it'll
Got
be 2. And then under 2A, it'll be
Got it.
2B for the action piece.
Got it.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns to that? Okay, and then I will, let's just do that motion first.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Treasurer David Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Turpin.
Yes.
Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Sir, to add to the agenda, move is approved 7-0.
All right, thank you. And then also, I need a motion on the floor to remove from the amended agenda, under regular working agenda, curriculum instruction, remove the Kennedy Art Experience contract renewal. Both, that was for discussion and action.
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee David Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Turpin.
Yes.
Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Treasurer David Smith.
Yes.
Sir, to remove the Kennedy item, pass 7-0.
All right, thank you. Need a motion on the floor to approve the amended agenda.
So move. Support.
So moved by Trustee David Smith, supported by Trustee Hannah. Questions, comments, or concerns? And this is for the approval of the amended agenda for this evening's meeting. Hearing none, roll call.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Turpin,
Yes.
Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer David Smith,
Yes.
and President Garrett.
Yes.
Sir, to approve the agenda amended,
All right.
pass 7-0.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to move down any awards and recognitions. Okay, don't have any right now. Recognition of any elected officials that's here. Okay, Board of Trustees, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. Need a motion on the floor for the consent agenda.
So moved.
So moved by
Support.
Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee David Smith. Okay. Roll call.
Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Turpin,
Yes.
Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer David Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, sir, to approve consent agenda 7-0.
All right, thank you. And we're going to move down to information from the Superintendent and Administration, Superintendent's Report. 1A, Rogers Elementary Summer School Podcast. Superintendent, the floor is yours.
Thank you. We are so excited about all of the opportunities we were able to afford our students over the summer months. Our curriculum team, our partners, as well as our students from Rogers and with our PR department has all joined together to support initiating and introducing our students and exposing them to podcasts. There are so many great things going on in the district. I just talked to a trustee about how do we get that messaging out as it relates to all of the wonderful activities that are taking place that a lot of people do not know of. we have to begin to start telling our story ourselves, showcasing what we're doing with our students, having our parents to speak on the matter and the students that it impacts, because there are great things taking place in the Pontiac School District. And this is just one tool that we have utilized from our bond dollars to support launching podcasts throughout the district. I'll turn it over to our Heidi Heidquest, who has been over our PR department along with Frank Cologne, and they have done a phenomenal job with launching our podcast pathway.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for having us this evening. Can you hear me okay? I apologize. Frank is not able to be with us this evening. He had a family emergency, but Randy from our team is filling in on videoing everything tonight and was a huge part of this as well. We are so excited to have been a part of this. As Superintendent Williams said, this is something that we as a department and the board and the administration have been talking about quite a bit, of how we can really utilize our skills to bring it to the students, to activate the students in helping us produce our communication models. And thanks to Ms. Jeter, we were able to do a pilot this summer. The fifth graders who were at Rogers Elementary, but who came from across the district for the summer school program, had the opportunity to create a podcast. Now remember, this was a very short time frame of very intense learning. These kids did not know each other before summer school, most of them. And we were working with teachers and staff who aren't their communications experts as far as educating students, but have never produced a podcast before. So Ms. Jeter connected us with Ms. Donato. We worked with her and two of her fifth grade classes. Now, for these podcasts, when we came in, they had already come up with the topics that they wanted to focus on, and they shared that with us. And from there, we taught them and worked with them to help learn how to interview, how to feel comfortable in front of a microphone, how to work behind the scenes, and all the various elements that came into play. These kids were phenomenal. When we first came in, they'd already come up with their topics. First class, again, fifth grade, graduating fifth graders. First one, well, what we're passionate about is we would like to do our podcast on investing, finance, and savings.
That's awesome.
That's what they did. And they had several sections where they asked, they gave tips, they interviewed each other, all really good advice for all of us. Second class, history of the American Revolution. This is what they came up with on their own. Again, same thing. They had facts, they had important elements that they thought they'd all highlight, and every student participated in various ways, either from being on air or working behind the scenes as an assistant director with Frank. Randy did a great job of assisting them with getting over stage fright. She's naturally an introvert, unlike me, helping them become comfortable both in front of the microphone, behind the camera. They were phenomenal. From here, what we all talked about extensively is, how can we do this long-term? How can we make this something that these kids can carry on into middle school, into high school, into college? How can we make this something that can live on our website, be hosted, whether it's these topics or other topics down the road? So we've already begun initial conversations to see how that can happen. And our team would love to be involved in any way that makes sense, sharing our experiences. So without further ado, you can listen to the whole podcast after today on our website, but we wanted to give you all a sneak peek of some of the amazing things these kids did.
My name is Amora, and I'm going to be introducing the podcast. Hello, we are going to teach you how to IFS. If you don't know what that means, it means invest, finance, and save money.
You can invest in yourself to develop skills, and you can make money and save money at the same time. You can buy your wants, but just put your needs first and then put your wants second.
Hey, my name is Samaj, and I am going to be asking a question about the Boston Tea Party. What happened in the Boston Tea Party? A group of men led by Samuel Adams boarded the ship of the East India Company and dumped tea worth of 1,000 pounds into the sea. This event is known as the Boston Tea Party.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You've been a wonderful audience, and thank you again. We're signing off now. Bye.
And those kids came up with all that verbiage, that was theirs. His, thanks for listening, I'm signing off now. That was all him. And some of these kids that were so quiet at first, as soon as they were in the role that fit them, the one young lady who was working with Frank behind the scenes as assistant director was quiet on the set. 5, 4, 3. Whereas before that, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to do this." So we're just happy to share it with all of you. So thank you.
All right, any comments from the board?
Yeah, I'd like to come over there and
I
yeah.
don't know, you might need to get a couple of them in the booth with you for.
I would love to have
Oh,
them
okay.
come to the announcing booth with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring them all. I got room enough in there for 20.
Yeah, sports broadcasting, huge.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, no problem. Any other comments from the board? VP?
Our announcements, morning announcements, still a thing. Maybe we can do announcements somehow with the podcast with the kiddos. So that would be awesome.
Any other comments? Okay. Y'all do know that's like a multi-million-dollar business now.
Oh, yeah.
Like kids generating these podcasts, even on their own, their TikToks, but just to give them a start, letting them show us what they want. So perfect example. Kudos to the staff and everybody who helped out with them. Look forward to seeing more and check us out on the website so you can see more from our podcast from our 5th graders here in the Pontiac School District. Superintendent, the floor is still yours.
Thank you. And just to add on to that, as you talk about telling our story, we need our students to tell our story. They are the best customers, audience, and they will listen to themselves before they will listen to us. And so we're going to put them on the platform to allow them to begin to utilize, once it's renovated, the studio and begin to really hone in on their skill sets, those that are interested in broadcasting, journalism. And so this is just the beginning stage of what we are going to introduce our students across the district to the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, our next item, Project Excel, our wonderful after-school program, another opportunity for our students in the community. If you are not a part of the Pontiac School District, you need to listen to what is going on for our after-school programs. We talk about the emphasis around literacy, writing, and so we have this mission and vision and tall charge across all areas of the district. So when we talk about after school programming and our partners, everyone knows that literacy and mathematics is the focus. So I commend Mr. Henry Jackson and his team and our partners who have joined forces with them and the students that participated in the program. And he is just going to shed light on the excellent activities that took place over the summer.
Good afternoon. My name is Henry Jackson, Program Director of Project Excel. When I first received the opportunity to become Project Excel Director, I wanted to come up with new, creative, innovative ways for learning and enrichment activities. One of the first things that I wanted to do was broaden our kids' minds in terms of literature and academics. So this past month in March was Reading Month. Of course, you know that. And we wanted to create a new wave of just not only reading, but to write your own story, to know what it takes to become an author, to know that experience. So our kids not only wrote their story, but they also have published their story. Wow. And in front of you, you have a book of their work. Each site has their own book. Right now, you have in front of you Alcott Elementary's book, with each student telling their side of the story, and they created their own story. It could be make-believe or just something that they wanted to share with the world. Without further ado, I have the vendor who partnered with us and shared their knowledge. And I would like to bring her up, Ms. Pat Wiley.
Excuse me,
you.
Just a minute, Ms. Wiley, if I could. Before you speak, Ms. Pat Wiley and I have a history together. And when I see her here, when I see her here, we years ago was able to be mentors, and we ran a youth program for our children for well over 15, 20 years together. And when I saw that she was a part of this, I knew that we were going to do something great. And I wanted to say that to you publicly, not just on the telephone. And I thank Mr. Jackson for allowing you to participate with this. And I wanted to say to you that these students are blessed to have you a part of this. And I thank you for being a part of this. And I'm saying this from the entire board to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. We are in for a surprise here today, and that is to show you your published authors. These are young people who are coming to you with just their thoughts, ideas, and imaginations, because that's what they have. They was at home for 2 years, sitting alone and sometimes very lonely. Some of their stories reflect that. And some of their stories bring joy and just imagination and creativity. So when we talk about telling our own story, one of the things that I truly believe in is showcasing. And so I went about the job of making sure that our children have platforms to speak from, talking about the writing process and how they had to, Ms. Pat kept saying, just write, just write. I said that so many times, I almost wanted to turn that into the program. Just write. Because if you're trying to edit while you write, you stop your thinking, you stop your flow. So when they start seeing that, oh, well, she's going to edit and I'm just coming up with ideas and coming up with ideas and coming up with ideas. And it became a story, and it's their story. And I'm so excited for them. Not only have your students here to show you what they're doing, but they're also going to be doing it for the Michigan After School Association Conference. We're going to tell our story, and we're going to tell it over and over again with your help and with your support. What it is that we're going to be doing is we're going to be able to give these books away. We want every family in Pontiac to have one of these books, to share the literature of the kids and their thinking and their stories and their imagination. And that's what we came here to do today, to bring these kids up and to celebrate them. We're also going to be having individual book signing parties at their school. So you have to come. I mean, you know, we're going to be having book signing parties. They have to understand the full gamut of being a published author. How many of you are published? Got one? All right. Well, you guys, you got to come to the club then. So I'm going to introduce to you some of our students from Owens Elementary School, and just so happy that their parents brought them here so that we can celebrate them. And this is just the beginning. We plan to kind of corral everyone at all the schools and continue to celebrate our kids as we go before the city council for their recognition, and anybody else that I can knock on their door. But the kids will be there to be honored. So this is our first student. I'm going to have him come up and talk to you about his book, his story.
Hi, my name is Jax Hale. I'm from Owen Elementary. I'm going to 5th grade. My book is about a dog that is my sister. And I bought the story because I had a dog at home, and she is very sweet and playful. She plays a lot, and she likes to play a whole bunch. Yeah.
Awesome. Good job.
Hi, my name is Adriel. I am in fourth grade. I'm from Owen Elementary. My story is about the bad boy. It is about a guardian dragon who will probably protect the camp of a city. He will protect the city if evil dragons come.
All right.
That's my kind of guy right there.
Hi, my name is Camille.
Okay. Now I'll say your name again.
Hi, my name is Camille.
Hi.
I'm from Old Elementary. And this is about missing my grandma.
Oh, okay.
She passed away when I was little in the hospital. That's it.
All right.
Wait. Tell them a little bit about your grandmother and what you guys used to do together.
I know they want to be short. That's okay.
We used to play together.
That's good. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing your story.
Hi, my name is London Burkett. I am from Elcott Elementary, and my story is about a cheerleader. The cheerleader used to cheer for Quest All Stars, and when she cheered for Quest All Stars, she was the best, but she actually sprained her ankle. So she couldn't cheer until the doctors told her she can cheer after 9 months. When it became 9 months, she could cheer.
Each individual story hits hard, right? These kids worked hard. These kids enjoyed the experience, and they left you with a lot of cliffhangers. So if you are as interested as I was when they were presenting, we will all get the chance to get the book and read their story and get to learn a little bit more about these students. I just want to thank you guys for sharing this opportunity with us. Thank you all.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Sue. Thank you for that presentation. Comments from the board. Trustee Hannah?
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Mr. Jackson, Ms. Wiley, and your team for introducing our students to this. This was good exposure for them, and you probably opened up a whole new world to them that they may not have had the opportunity to experience before. So thank you so much.
Thank you. VP, and then go ahead. No.
Thank you for the book. I am excited. I love books, and at home, I always try to keep shelves of books. So I can't wait to add this one and the next one to my shelf so that when people visit, I can say this is a product of Pontiac. So thank you all so much. Good job.
Good job. Thank you. Sir.
Mr. Jackson, I just wanted to ask you and Ms. Wiley and the students, what district are you from? What district? One more time. Thank you.
That's never going to get old for me. That is never going to get old for me. Any other comments from the board? Trustee Terry.
Just real quick, for the public, I know you mentioned about a book. How can they go about getting one if they're interested in obtaining a book?
So we will have published more books, and they will be at the individual sites at the front desk.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Henry, for the people at home, you need to say that on that mic. Yeah, I mean, we appreciate your company and your presence, but it's some people in virtual world. We had 2 years of experimenting with this. They need
My
to.
apologies. I'm so sorry.
Right.
That's bad form. So the books will be at the individual sites and at the office once we get more published.
Okay.
I would like, I like mine signed.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah,
Like,
can we do the ones
like
that
the
are
book
here?
signing. Like, I know we said we're going to have book signings. Like, can we know, like, can you get those dates to us? Like,
We would like to do our book signings on parent-teacher conferences.
Okay.
Yes.
So if we could just get those dates, and we'll appreciate it, because I like signed authors,
Right.
you know, because this is their first book.
Yes.
And they're going to have plenty more out of this series, and then going into their adulthood. And I just want to, you know, when I roll up in my little walker, I pull out my first book and say, I got your first book. I remember when you wrote your first book. Right. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So I'll be there,
All right.
parent-teachers conference.
Okay. Congratulations again, students, and those who are assisting with this. We really appreciate you. Thank you for coming down. Soup, thank you for putting this as a presentation. I love to start off meetings like this. So if you have more good news and things to share, we can just start our meetings off like this. Celebrating our kids every meeting, I really will appreciate that, because it just lets everybody know, just, you know, hey, this is what this is truly about. So we're going to tend to some adult issues at this particular point in time.
All right, thank you.
So if you guys want to leave, you can leave at this particular, or if you want to stay, you can stay. But you're authors, you do what you like, right? Because you're going to write about it.
Bye.
All right, give them another hand, please. Some of us took naps. They've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. Jack, school, and come in and get recognition. So that's awesome. We're going to move down to our regular working agenda, finance items. Superintendent, we turn it over to you.
Thank you. At this time, we will have our Director of Business Services, Jim Graham, to present our monthly financial presentation.
That's on there tight. Okay, just so I don't block. My eyes aren't what they used to be, so I gotta get close to see what I'm doing here. Make sure I do this right, Cynthia. I'll paint that one. Oh, went too fast. Okay, this is very small. I apologize, but you have it in the board packet. This normally, again, I like to try to self-improve every year. I like to kind of shake things up, and normally I would just give you the fund or the cash flow for the month we're in, starting a new fiscal year, which would be July. So I thought it's much more effective to just have a 12-month rolling cash flow. So from now on, you're going to see 12 full months here, not just a month that adds on to as we go through the year. So you can see the 12-month cash flow. The final column is a current cash flow. We're about $11.1 million in cash, which is a very healthy cash position. And I added a brand new slide. I love slides, love charts. And this shows the historic cash flow of the district with and without the TAN. And the reason this is important is, as I've discussed previously, we borrowed money to make ends meet financially. We borrow what's called a tax anticipation note. And in previous years, we had to get that money in early, and we used it early. And you can kind of see by year here how our cash flow situation has improved. And the bottom chart is actually even more telling. What would happen if we didn't borrow the money? How far in the hole would we be? And you can see really small, but this little, I'm kind of color challenged, but this little green is almost break even. So we almost can get by without borrowing money. And that's a big deal for this district. So this is something I'll continue to update, but I thought it was good information to share for the community and the board.
Great.
Again, July is our first month. There's not a lot going on in July financially. The schools aren't operating as of yet. We have summer school, and a lot of the support departments are in place, but we don't have the big spending yet in July. So you're not going to see a lot of activity. Primarily in July, we just have tax revenues. We don't get our first monies from the state of Michigan until October. So primarily just tax revenues in July. Okay. One more time. There we go. Expenditures, again, the first month, about $1.3 million in spending, and that's primarily in the support areas, again, because we don't have school in session in July. Okay, this is the income statement for the general fund. Again, it shows by object the money coming in, and again, I mentioned primarily property taxes, and you can see the object codes where the dollars have been spent for the month of July. And you can see the overall fund balance of 11.1 million. And again, this will be updated when we have the audit, which will be complete in the end of September. We'll be presenting the audit in October. And so this number right now is the current amendment for 21-22, which is our beginning fund balance for the 22-23 school year. And that number will be updated when we have our audit complete.
So what is it now?
Right now, our current fund balance is about $9.7 million through June 30th, 2022. But once our audit is complete, that number will be finalized. So right now it's an estimate. We certainly hope it's at least that good, if not better, is always what we want to do. So, food service, again, not a lot of activity in the summer. There's some support of the summer education program. Kind of jumps twice when I do it here, so I'm not good at this. Syncing, oh man. I'm just pressing it once. Try one more time. All right, I think that's the last one. So the sinking fund, again, we have a 0.8 mil sinking fund. And you can see, again, the same thing, rolling cash flow for the last 12 months for the sinking fund. We have about $5.5 million right now in cash in our sinking fund. Get away from this for a couple of years and I can't even operate a PowerPoint. You got it? All right. Okay, I'm just going to set it down. All right. So our bond issue, which was the $147 million bond issue that was approved by the voters in March of 2020, we sold our first series of bonds, $103 million, July of 2020. And so we are in the process of spending those dollars. Some were spent last year. And some are going forward into this year. So you can see that we have about $16 million estimated remaining through the end of this year with Bond Series 1. And again, that will be updated. Again, there's not a lot of activity in July. And I think we did have some spending in July, but it had not been posted as of yet. So that's why you don't see expenditures identified, but they will be caught up next month. So next slide, please. In terms of other information, I mentioned the audit. It begins the day after Labor Day. We're in the midst of dealing with that. It's a very busy time of year for me and my staff. It's our focus to get ready for the audit. We're in really good shape right now and anticipate a very successful audit this year. In terms of emergency purchases, we did have an underground storage tank that we were not aware was there at the high school. We had to remove that tank. And do the testing of the ground.
Hold on.
You know,
what? Hold on one second.
Yes. That's the same question you had.
No. I knew we had them there, but they were supposed to have been already removed 6 years. This is before. What? Help me out. They were supposed to be removed already, so they wasn't removed. Well, obviously it wasn't.
We've had others removed. This was unidentified. So this was not on any records anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you find it?
It's where the new parking
So it
lot
was
is.
under the new old parking lot.
Wow.
Okay. I can. Sue, you want to say something?
No, we have some very antiquated. When I saw the tanks, I think they're still sitting out there. They look very,
It's a large
very,
tank.
very
Yes.
old.
Okay. All right. I just.
Yeah.
So we're doing all the proper precautions. We have our environmental consultant do the soil testing and removal and all that, but it does get very expensive. So that is something we had to take care of. That was an emergency purchase. So we wanted to bring that up at my monthly report. So I believe that is all I have. If there's any questions for me.
Any questions about the finance report? The monthly finance report? Okay. Nothing. I'm very excited about our financial situation.
Yep.
And about the public needs to understand, and we're going to get them there. And they do, because they passed it. They passed a bond. They passed a millage, actually. They passed the millage because they trust us, because they gave you a bond, because they trust us. So that's what I go on, right? I go on the trust of the people. So with that being said, I appreciate you explaining this for a year and a half since I've been here on a monthly basis at every meeting, whether it's a good, bad, or indifferent, explaining it, because when at that point people begin to trust you because they don't feel like you have anything to hide. And so just keep up the good work. And if we're talking about that tax anticipation note, the fact that we are almost at a point where we don't even have to even look at that, because a lot of times that builds a structural deficit in urban districts because we constantly have to be ahead of other. I'll just leave my personal space alone right there. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. Is it-
No, just one.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Graham, we are audited yearly.
That's correct. Yes.
And we are a separate entity from from the city.
From the city, correct? Yes.
Okay. And that needs to be explained. When there is news or information that is given out that's bad or not good, they try to equate all of us together as it pertains to financially where we are. And it's good that each year we give our results of our audit every year. And I know since I've been back on the board, and probably a year or so within the last 3 years, we've been having minimum of 3 years, excellent audits that I'm aware of since I've been here, correct?
Yes.
So that just needs to be explained to the community where we are and what we're doing, so they don't lose that trust or faith in us, that their monies are being spent well and being monitored extremely well. And it shows through an audit. And because that's been a question out in the community when we hear specific bad news, whether it's bad news from us, then they equate it with the city and vice versa. And we wanted to make sure that the community made aware of where we are financially and what we're doing, and we don't have anything to hide.
Well, again, we have, I believe, 8 years in a row that we've had surpluses every year.
Yes.
We had legacy.
Repeat that.
We had a legacy deficit that we had to address that was $51 million. Took a time to take care of that, but so we've been in the positive trend now for almost a decade. And so the hard work was done, and we were heading in the right direction. Even before we got some extra resources, one-time resources, we were already heading in the right direction. So again, we continue to do that, and I will continue to update you as we keep going.
Thank you.
And thank you for those at home. I think, please, Secretary Gross, thank you for explaining that,
Yes, sir.
because there is some undertones that's going on in the city, and I'm glad he brought that up just to express the fact that our financial situation audits things that have nothing to do with the city of Pontiac. Absolutely nothing to do with the city of Pontiac. So there are two separate entities, and we are in good standings as it relates to our audited situation. Thank you, Trustee Gross. Again, that's why you have good teammates that got you back when you forget about certain stuff. Thank you so much for explaining that.
You're welcome.
All right, Superintendent, still yours.
Sorry about that. We now are going to move into our bond update. We have our team here, ARC team, and they will give you the most recent update on our bond projects.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent, and community. Glad we're back to be virtual. So we got quite a few members of our team here. I thought Juan Vasquez III from Barton and Marlow was going to do the presentation, but I thought I'd introduce our team. Of course, Mr. Graham, Board President, Superintendent, RR, and our Art Committee. Brian Ingram is part of the architectural firm. Bill Holcomb, Marvin Beasley, Juan Vasquez III, and Larry Bukowski are from Barton and Marlow Builders. And then John Stoner, of course, is your owner rep. Just in case we look a little different virtually, now we're here in person. So with that said, there's been a lot going on with the bonds. I'll let Juan start out, and then we'll go through the presentation, and we'll be here to answer any questions that you guys have.
Good evening. Sorry. Little virtually, I look a little taller, so excuse me. So, good evening, everybody. So, board presentation. Do you want me to? I guess I've been virtual for so long. I'll just get out of the way. So, starting with the middle school infrastructure upgrades. Right now, the current infrastructure upgrade date is 6/20 to 8/18/2023. With the work is in progress and it's really pending the delivery of some electrical equipment that is very, very long lead. And there's some pictures. Things are going great with the install. Everything's being built great. The picture to the right is demolition in the corridor. You can see it's all cleared out. And that's a new mechanical unit in the classroom in the middle. The cafeteria is top left. That actually looks different. They're already starting to frame the architectural design of all the soffits in that space. And the bottom left is a classroom. It's been abatements complete through the owner and as well as all the demolition. So it's going very well. Okay, WHRC, that's the north wing. Still same condition. It was occupied last year. And next slide. We have the kitchen. That's a before and after. So the kitchen's on the left. On the right, those are the new masonry walls and the new soffits. This picture is probably over a week old, so a lot has changed within that time. Existing gym corridor, that's a before and after. We've got the ceiling grid is installed. Light fixtures are actually in progress, if not complete. So a lot's happening, a lot of good things. That's the gym corridor that's going to lead to the new multi-purpose room. And that's the exterior corridor. I believe they're already starting the window systems on the picture to the right. Columns are now enclosed in concrete or in masonry, and the mechanical units up in the ceiling space. The infrastructure, the multi-purpose room, the stage is being poured this week, and I believe by the end of the week, the plan is got to check the schedule with my staff, but end of the week, all slabs are to be poured throughout the multi-purpose room. I believe middle of 9/15, I believe, is when they're installing the roof on that space to make it watertight. The brick on the left side, it's really just one picture. The brick is beautiful. Good contractor, did great job with that burnished block. So the brick is complete. Whitman doors and windows. Should have took a picture of the same elevation. It looks like we made that picture, the one larger, but the one on the left, there's two radius windows like that, door entries. That's before, and now you can see after. And that was a week ago. So they're doing some punch list items. All the windows are installed. They're just doing some caulking. Got to put the emergency egress window stickers on the windows, but I know that Dr. Powell, I believe, I'm very happy. Place looks great. Windows, great upgrade throughout the whole space.
I noticed in one of the pictures here, that's the old doors, there's a lot of glass, and we were concerned about breakage and safety. And so I'm looking at the new doors. Are all our doors going to be that way to where we don't have to be as concerned about breakable glass or someone trying to?
Are you referring to this lower piece here?
The lower, look to the left.
Okay, yes.
Isn't the door, the glass is blocked because it looked like it was broken in wood?
That's possible. I don't know what was existing before.
Yes, he's asking you all, you see the glass in both windows down at the bottom, and then the upper portion of the window pane. Yes, you don't have as much glass. So yes, they have been designed where they are supported, where you just can't throw a rock, and we took more glass out and made it where it's reinforced with those panels. And yes, all of the doors throughout the district have been designed to be in compliance with safety opening and closing, as well as making sure it's a fit for less glass in place.
And the reason I asked earlier today by the community safety because of school starting.
Right.
And I made them extremely aware of where we are safety-wise, what our plans are, what we've been doing. As pertains to safety doors, metal detectors,
yes,
security, and where we are. So, because that's the big issue now with schools.
It is, and I'm glad you say that, because a lot of these buildings that were built recently, they're beautiful with a lot of glass. But we have found when we go through our safety training, that's not always the best approach. So knowing that going in with our designs, we're being very cognizant that we don't have as much glass where we're exposing our students and staff as much if there is an active shooter situation.
Yeah, the glass, the secret formula for the glass that we've been doing since the high school.
Excuse me, if you can go up to the mic, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, Brian Ingham, architect with IDS. The glass that we've been using in the district is a double pane system. The outer pane is laminated, meaning it's got technically 2 layers of glass with call it a plastic sheet between them. You can try to get through it. It's going to take some time if you're going to physically get through it. It's not meant to be bullet resistant in any way. That's a different type of glass, but it will resist impacts that are, let's just call it, human made. If you throw your fist at it, you're not going through. You throw a rock at it, it's just going to spider crack and stay in place, giving the district the opportunity, sort of at their leisure, to replace the glass as needed. And it's been sort of tested already. I've seen a couple sections of glass at the high school that have been hit, and they're still in one piece.
Okay.
Oh, the doors, yeah, they're fiberglass reinforced panels, FRPs. They're integrated color into the door, the texture that's on the door. They're going to be there forever. They don't rust, they don't rot, they don't fade. And they are pretty much impervious to any kind of impact you would throw at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, another elevation. You can see the left picture just looks great. New dark bronze windows all the way through on all 3 pictures. Okay, the infrastructure project for the high school. The electrical contractors on site working on the exterior. That's a picture inside the tunnel of all the new conduits. It's just empty. It's empty conduits preparing for the new infrastructure project and for the electrical. High school parking lots, that's updated dates. Looking at that, the north lot is going to be paved out tomorrow with top. And the south lot here is getting the base course tomorrow, which is the first course. And they will also then Wednesday finish this. So this will be finished. The north lot will be topped out tomorrow. And then this will be topped out on Wednesday. And they're continuing with another team working on the bus loop in this area. We are going to have to leave a section here out. That's where the storage tank is, that existing condition, which was a little bit of a constraint. There's been some constraints on this project. There's a storage tank, like Mr. Ingham said, right there, that we've had to work around. But we're on target to be successful with these dates. We appreciate your patience with some of this. The middle school science lab, that is in progress. That works in conjunction with the middle school project with the electrical equipment being delivered. So that is a completion of 8/18/2023 at this point. And this high school science lab, really with the middle school needing to be complete to start the high school construction, pending that middle school, that's June 2023 at this point. Theater upgrades, right now there's electrical. That's the trenching that's occurring inside the theaters for the seating, for the lighting at the chairs. Right now, conduit is being installed. I believe they're getting their boxes if they haven't already, so we can get that inspected, installed, inspected, and pour the concrete in and then continue. We have other trades actually starting up there this week. And the concession building, it's amazing what a week makes a difference. They poured that slab last week, Monday, Tuesday. All the doors were finally arrived last week. I believe on Tuesday, they built the hardware. They have to install the hardware on the doors. They did that in their shop, and they arrived today. And I believe there's 8 openings. One opening has double doors. 7 of the 8 openings have the doors installed today in one day. They will have that complete. Wednesday, they may just be finishing up some caulking, but they'll have it, the doors installed tomorrow and just caulking it out and finishing those doors up. Additional progress is soffits. They finished that EFIS system on Saturday, so that looks really good. Electrical is being installed as we speak. I think they stopped probably at like 5 today. The owner of the company was texting me during this meeting. And then actually tomorrow, the site contractor is mobilizing on site to put topsoil in and start putting, there's some straw blankets just outside the picture, and start putting the topsoil into seeding in. We do have some challenges. I literally at 4:05 today, I got hit with today. I'll have more information on it tomorrow, especially for Superintendent Williams and President Garrett. One is we're trying to get the tap so we can hook up the toilets. The toilets are installed, the toilet partitions, the epoxy floor. It looks beautiful. In order to make the tap in the road, we need an Oakland County permit, which the contractor's been trying to get. Working with IDS, they have some questions so we can get that permit and do that tap. As a backup plan, I already have porta-johns already ordered, but we are working hard to get that permit from Oakland County so we can get that tap completed. We also have an electrical panel that's not, right now, it was being delivered in November. We have a temporary panel that IDS signed off on as a permanent solution. Working with the electrical inspector that's scheduled for this week, we have to work through that panel. He does not want to come out and see a temporary panel, which is not normal. So we're working with that with BCC. I have a call into BCC to review that with them, with that temporary panel. That panel is a permanent solution. So something I got thrown at today, and Larry and I are working on it. So we'll have answers tomorrow on that one. The bleachers are ordered as well as the floor. That is on target. So right now the bleachers, the flooring is being installed middle to late October, and then the bleachers will be right behind that for December. So that is on target for the bleacher project. And the waterproofing was scheduled to start today. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. I don't want to go past the gym. That's what
Want to go back to the gym or?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Keep going. Waterproofing was scheduled to start today. They need some clarification on some of the conduits on the north elevation that they have concerns with. So I'm working on that right now as well. So I'll have an update for you and ARC on that on Thursday. Yes, sir.
Prior to the placing of the floor and the bleachers, where are we as far as painting?
Painting the space?
Painting the gym.
Correct.
You're going to do that prior to implementing the floor?
That is correct. There is a scope amount of how much painting we're doing in that space. Right now, the lighting as part of Bid Pack 27, there's lighting that's going to occur next summer. However, the electrician is going to install all the conduits the day after Labor Day, so we can then paint that space out. I don't want to, knowing we have to do the lights, but I would like to paint that this year before flooring, so we don't have to protect it.
Absolutely.
So that is what is scheduled.
Protecting the bleachers too.
That's correct. That is scheduled.
Thank you.
Then we have our contingency update that we review as a team every week with where we are with remaining contingency, and then we have any change orders at potential, and then where we stand after that potential if it is approved with contingency, so we can track. There's our construction schedule. It's updated. And supply chain. Supply chain, I know we've talked about it over the last year. It's not getting any better. Electrical's out of control. In my almost 30 years of construction, it's even on the technology side. There's some technology projectors we're hearing that are a year out. Gear is out of control. Transformers are out of control. It's something that we got to continue as a team to get ahead of and order ahead of time through design and even on projects going forward. And just more items. Rooftop units, we do have them coming. We have them sitting at WHRC, middle school and high school showing up in the next month or two. So we have those rooftop units. And that's it for the presentation. So.
Okay. Any other comments from the board? Trustee Terry?
Real quick, going through the supply chain lead times, I was wondering in the comment sections if we can get some dates specifically as far as, either arrival or estimated dates or weeks. I just find it kind of hard to try to interpret when you say 9 and 11 months. Usually going to the engineering side, but usually we usually try to push our suppliers for a specific date. Because right now I kind of feel like I'm in limbo. And then if we don't know exactly when that order was placed, it kind of leaves us which direction are we going?
I agree.
What I don't want to see, and I think the board discussed this kind of too, is we don't want to see something lingering on that doesn't need to be. And then in addition to that, if we are committing or making them commit to a specific date, is there any repercussion for them as far as discounts or whatever the case may be? Just for the inconvenience, I'll put it like that. Obviously, we're a school district, and our concern is the students. And the longer these projects take, the longer they're out of that, I guess you want to say, atmosphere or that specific building or specific sports or whatever, and they miss out on those opportunities. So just if we can get maybe some more details in regards to the comment sections, I think that will help out going forward.
Okay, will do.
You good, Trustee Terry?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Trustee Hannah?
Hi, quick question. I couldn't tell really from the presentation, but which projects specifically are impacted the most by the delay of the electrical pieces?
It would have to be middle school and high school.
Okay.
But middle school is number one, I would say the middle school, between the middle school and science labs. High school concession has a panel, but again, we have a permanent solution for that.
And the middle school was more so with the science lab, right?
The middle school is both. There's two projects, so it's the middle school in general. Yeah, science lab and the whole building.
Okay.
So just to be very transparent, we have discussed specifically what Trustee Terry just mentioned, the order date and delivery date to ensure that our systems are in place and the ordering is being done in enough time to ensure that our projects are not delayed. So it's not on our end, but on the vendor's end. So systems will be put in place where each project will be discussed in an additional meeting amongst the architects and our owner's rep to ensure that we're getting enough leeway time to get these back orders in place so that we are not having our students displaced. This is a very concerning issue as it relates to our middle school as well as our ITA students. I greatly appreciate the team along with Dr. Eccles and her team to come up with an alternative plan for our students, which will be temporary, but we want to make sure that our processes and procedures will prohibit something like this as much as possible in the future. So an additional meeting will be scheduled to make sure everything is vetted in a timely fashion so that we can at least say we ordered it in time.
You still have the floor. Okay, Trustee Gross.
And that's a good point, Madam Superintendent. And I wanted to say to the community, because they've been very patient with us, and we understand it's their children, and there's specific things that we have to do as a district, but we want to make sure that our kids are being educated.
Correct.
But here's the thing. But we must also understand the frustration of our parents and what's going on. So customer service is extremely important.
Yes.
No, I reiterate that. And I'm speaking to us. Patience, customer service. Because displacement of students in various buildings also affect transportation.
Absolutely.
And we know what happens, transportation, the multiple phone calls that we receive because of the concerns with transportation. So it affects the entire district is where I'm going. So we need to show patience,
Mhm.
customer service.
I agree with you totally.
From the board to everybody.
Mhm.
All
I
right,
agree.
this is a team effort
Mhm.
because lack of customer service will lose our students in our district.
Mhm. I agree. And Heidi has done a great job with getting the letters out to inform parents of the changes, as well as bell schedules, and transportation has been working with us to readjust routes. But we are doing our due diligence to make sure that we communicate every move that we are making in enough time for our parents to either pivot or make adjustments for their schedules if needed. But again, we are doing our due diligence on our end to ensure that our systems are in place so that this can continue to move forward. And if we need to pause any other projects, we will do that before we displace any more students. I think we got ahead of ourselves. We did overload our plate trying to get these renovations done for our students to come back into renovated buildings. But I believe that, or I know, we did bite off too much, and even the industry cannot keep up with what we were trying to do in our district. So just to be very transparent, we wanted the best for our students and for our families, but it was a tall order and we just did not make the mark.
Thank you.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I just appreciate the communication.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes people just visit, but for those of us who kind of frequent Pontiac, we're a resilient type of town.
Mhm.
If you let us know what's going on, you close the Coney Island over here, we're gonna go to the west side. Even we may not want to go to the end times. But if you let us know ahead of time what we need to do, we're gonna make our weekend adjustment. We all don't go to the same park. We got parks on every side of town, but we just like going to the mill down because that's just what we do. Right?
Mhm.
So the communication. It's nothing to feel bad about. As you can tell, you know how I get in ARC meetings, but the board don't play no games with me. They don't play no games with me. And so just to get through this conversation and understand, our parents and our community will understand, but it's a team.
Mhm.
It's a team thing. It's team ball. And so our administration, curriculum, when I see them all in the back with laptops, they working right now. Like they don't play no games. They for real about this, like about educating our students and trying to figure it out on a timely matter. And so it's not a bad thing. I don't think, we shot for what we shot for and people accepted it, but nobody threw in the lead time items, and some other monkey wrench items that kind of thrown into the projects and 30-year-old storage tanks in a parking lot that you ain't dug up in 30. We know our buildings ain't been done in about 40 years. We can't even act like we just had these brand new buildings and y'all just doing touch-up paint. We're not about to act like that. We're not doing that. We want a good product, and we don't plan on waiting 30 years if we need upgrades anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So just we are all in it together, and let's just kind of keep the communication open. And Mr. Stoner, I saw your hand, so Stone Cold as I call him. Yeah, I do know Stone Cold Steve Austin. Am I telling my
what
age?
makes it worse is my mother's name was Mary Jane. So there'll be two things I just wanted to mention that I'd be remiss by not letting the board know. Those meetings, we're loath to have an extra meeting, and they are going to be once a week, but it was with the design team, and it's a chance for us to make sure that we have not left any stone unturned or find any surprises. That's our real goal. The Wednesday meeting was an upper level type of thing, but we're now into the weeds, and we don't want anything to be caught or come up to us that we cannot find a solution to. The other thing the board has to know is even though you're hearing long lead times in some of these issues, that doesn't mean we've given up on them. Yes, we've gone to these suppliers and they say it's 52 weeks, 57 weeks, whatever it is. But at every meeting, we're asking IDS, we're asking the other team, is there something else? Can we find a other solution to this to make it move faster? So I didn't want you to think that we're just sitting back there going, oh, the generator's not coming here until June, or the switchgear is not coming here until June. We're going to exhaust every effort we can to change that timeline. I'm not saying we can, but that's our goal. So thank you.
Thank you. There was one particular question that I had, and I'll move on. You said there was an Oakland County permit that you needed. Was it like, is it just sitting, is the application sitting on somebody's desk? Like, what seems to be the problem?
They have it. They're waiting for, they're asking for additional design questions in order for them to provide the permit to the contractor.
Oakland County is.
Yes.
It was about 40 pages.
Can you, Mike, please?
Brian, do you want to elaborate? But it was a pretty lengthy document, about 40 pages of questions that were a little rhetorical, but we got it, we filled it out, and we'll be submitting it.
Okay. That's it. Okay. All right. Thank you. That was only pretty much a question I had. Sue, you had anything else?
Do we know the turnaround time once they receive the questions or the responses to the questions? Or are they behind on coming out?
It's about a 2-day install. The contractor has other projects. They are trying to get to us and move us ahead.
Okay.
Once they get the permit.
Understood.
So I'm at the mercy of the permit. Once I get it, I'm going to be calling immediately saying, help, get us out of trouble. Let's get this tap installed. You know, I want to get it installed so we can use the toilets, you know?
Yeah.
So.
No, I understand. It's just one of those things where if we can help as elected officials, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have relationships, and I would lean on our relationships very heavily on making sure that if we need a permit, we're going to get a permit. Like, it's, let us know. Like, those are sometimes those kind of conversations I had at a dinner table or some other tables, or just in a room full of people who may not even know. And it just happened to be up under their leadership, and you just mentioned it, and next thing you know, voila, I'm helping Pontiac. So I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Superintendent, I think we're still in your area, ma'am. General Counsel to Human Resources, propose AFSCME. I always mess it up. Local 19 contract.
Thank you. Again, I want to commend the team for navigating through our negotiations across the district. We are very excited about being able to close our financial gap of salaries over the years with many of our unions and members. So this is what the team is bringing forth. They have been approved by the unions, and we are excited because we're able to give back to individuals who have been here for many years, and it's very deserving for us to be able to give them the finances as well as some of their other asks that they have had over the years during the concessions. And I'll turn it over to our General Counsel, Daryl Seegers.
Good evening, Board. First of all, let me thank the Board of Education for giving us direction and guidance as it relates to parameters of negotiating with all of our unionized workforce. Also, especially to the superintendent for guiding our hand as we endeavored into negotiations with the team. And I want to personally thank Jim Graham, the finance director, and Yolanda Cullum, the assistant superintendent of human resources, who have given me an invaluable and measurable amount of confidence in being able to go into these negotiations armed with all of the information and tools that I need to hopefully get the best deal I can for the district and for its employees. And this evening we have 2 agreements. Now, a month ago, we brought you an agreement with the administrators union which the board approved, which is in place. And now tonight, we bring you proposed agreements with two other unionized portions of the workforce. The first that I will discuss this evening is the AFSCME Local 719, which represents the food service workers here in the district. So the district and the AFSCME Local 719 Food Service Union entered into contract negotiations during the summer of 2022 and have agreed to the attached document. The attached tentative agreement, TA, sets forth the major changes that were made to the AFSCME Local 719/PSD collective bargaining agreement as a result of those negotiations. This TA represents a 2-year agreement that provides for salary increases tied to the district's fiscal capacity to increase wages, just like with the administrator's contract. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the attached tentative agreement between the district and AFSCME Local 719 Food Service Union.
Man, you ready? You finished that up like that was Alvin Hitchcock movie or something. I was like, okay. I was like, is he finished? He's waiting somebody to drop out the ceiling or something. Like, okay, all right. Any comments from the board? No. I mean, he was kind of soothing with it too. Like,
He was smooth.
like okay, Attorney Seeger, Superintendent.
I'm
Anything?
just excited we have a deal.
Okay, awesome. We're going to move down to what was added to the agenda for discussion item: proposed Pontiac Paraeducator Instructors Association PPIA 2022-2024 collective bargaining agreement, aka CBA.
All right. The district and the Pontiac Paraeducators Instructors Association, PPIA, entered into contract negotiations during the summer of 2022, and after several meetings have agreed to the attached document, which is a collective bargaining agreement. And it sets forth the major changes that were made to the PPIA CBA as a result of those negotiations. The CBA also represents a 2-year agreement that provides for salary increases tied to the district's fiscal capacity to increase wages. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the attached collective bargaining agreement between the district and the PPIA. And just to refresh everyone's recollection, the PPIA represents both paraprofessionals and teachers' assistants.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? Okay. We're going to move down to action item. Can I get a motion on the floor to combine both action items,
So
A
moved.
and B?
Support.
So moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Bowman, to combine the action items.
Trustee, who
Hearing
moved?
none, you roll call.
I moved in support again. I'm sorry.
Oh, move supported by
I
Trustee
was
Davis
erasing.
Smith.
I thought you were going to do them separate. So, but
No.
this is
We'll
combined.
do combined.
Okay, go ahead. Who moved?
So moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Bowman.
Thank you, sir. I'm ready.
We can do them individual if you like.
No,
You're the
we can,
secretary.
we can combine and then
You can tell me. That's your job.
no. It's
Oh, okay. It's just- all right. Hey, listen, I'm here to follow all orders. I
we
don't
all
want
set
no
to go.
smoke.
We can.
All right.
We have a relationship here, so we got
Okay, right. Okay.
All
Cool.
right.
We're good with that. Thank you.
to combine. I'm ready.
To combine, yes. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Turpin. Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Sir, to combine, pass.
All right. Thank you. Need a motion on the floor to approve the combined action items.
So move.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
She got
Questions,
it in there.
comments, or concerns to the motion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, sir.
No, we're good.
Trustee Turpin. Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah
Yes.
and Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Sir, both pass 7-0.
All right. Thank you. Laughter is good for the soul, and if
It
you're not
is.
laughing, I don't know what's I'm sorry, it's not the me. It's just not the year for you if you
It
don't want to
is.
have fun in the Pontiac School District. It's not gonna be your year. It's, I'm sorry. The Grinch is coming out on Christmas Day, and that's it. We're gonna move down to the Spanish and textbooks. Dr. Eccles in the correct.
We removed.
No, we
didn't
didn't.
Did we remove that?
No, we removed the art experience. Excuse me.
Oh,
excuse me,
I was misreading this. I'm sorry, sir.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me.
You're right.
Y'all not gonna. This is the second meeting of the year.
I misread the title.
I mean, but y'all double team at the same
Oh.
time. Was that a coincidence or was that like a?
No,
I'm just asking. I'm here for the whole year. I'm just trying to figure out what I need to put on shoulder pad or what.
Erase that. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Thank you. We're gonna move down curriculum instruction discussion items, Spanish textbooks. Dr. Eccles, Superintendent, I turn it over to you.
Dr. Eccles?
Soup didn't even have my back. She's gonna talk about, I'm glad it wasn't you.
Are you on? There it is.
Better? All right. Good evening, Superintendent, President Garrett, our trustees, Pontiac School District staff members, and our community members. On this evening, our curriculum and instruction team would like to present both for discussion and action, the purchase of our new middle school and high school Spanish curriculum resource, which is named Avanzamas, which is also Keep Moving in English. This new resource will immerse our secondary students on a journey of bilingualism and across cultural experiences beyond the classroom. The purchase will include a blending coaching support for our teachers and administrators, 2-hour professional development session, hard copies and digital student editions and resources for our Spanish Level 1 and Level 2, our teacher resource packages for Spanish Level 1 and Level 2, and also virtual field trips. Included in your board packet, you'll find the 3 resources that our team reviewed during the selection process. The funding for the purchase will be general funds, and it is the recommendation of our administration that Board of Education approve the attached materials, subscriptions, and trainings in the amount not to exceed $36,773.48.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Trustee Gross.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Good evening, Dr. Eccles.
Good evening.
I have one
trustee.
question for you as it pertains to our special needs Spanish-speaking students. Is there specific books or any type of things that we use or have to approve to ensure that they too are also receiving what is needed?
For our bilingual students.
Bilingual special needs.
So it depends on where they are scored according to their English language assessment WIDA. So if they're level 1, level 2, they're supported with our ESL teachers, and we just did adoption for those resources at the elementary level. In addition to, they have an ESL teacher at the elementary level and also at the high school level and middle school level, in which the students are assigned to those courses. So do they have an additional Spanish course in addition to that? No, it's just based upon their level, English
Or any
level for those
special or
students.
any special materials need to assist them in.
Yes, you did. The board did adapt those materials
did.
last year for elementary, and we've been using the same materials for high school, at least for the last 3 years. for those
Thank you.
students.
That's
All right,
it.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any other comments from the board? All right. All right. Thank you. Want to move down to approval of Spanish textbooks. Need a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee
Support.
Hannah, supported by Trustee Bowman. Questions, comments, or concerns to the motion of approval? Hearing that, roll call.
Vice President Bowman,
Yes.
Treasurer Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Terry,
Yes.
and Trustee Turpin. Sir, it was approved 7-0.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to move down to communications, petitions, and delegations.
There are none.
There are. Nobody wants to talk to us. Okay. There are any. We're going to move down to board comments and announcements. Trustee Treasurer Shaquana Davis Smith. Good evening. How you doing? We're going to start with you.
Good evening, everyone.
I just wanted to say that this was a great meeting, and I really enjoyed the presentation with the students with the podcast. I thought that was really great, and it I could tell that they got a lot out of it, and I can't wait to see it on our site. And also, thank you to Mr. Jackson and Miss Wiley. The books are great, and I can't wait to go to teacher conferences so that I can see the kids and get my book signed from them in person. As always, I think the superintendent and her cabinet, Dr. Eccles and your team, Jim Graham and Miss Kellum, you guys always give a great presentation and keep us up to date. And it's understandable for us as well as our community. You make it readable for everyone. So I thank you guys for all your hard work. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, board. I really appreciate you guys. We did have to work this summer. So I appreciate all the hard work that you guys did. And on September 3rd, I am having a community block party for everyone, especially for our students. So if you get a chance, please come out and support Pontiac. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. You said you have a question? Oh, where is it at? The block party. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I don't like to talk, but it's at P's and Q's Bakery and Cafe,
Okay. What's the address?
526 North Telegraph Road and Oakland Point Plaza, next door to Subway.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Terry, how you doing, sir? September 3rd, we don't know the time yet. We're going to get back.
It's from noon to 5.
Oh, noon to 5.
Please come out at noon because our kids will be performing.
All right, Trustee Terry, you up.
Thank you. Thank you. Good
Welcome
evening,
home, and
everyone.
welcome home. Welcome back.
You know I like vacations. I just want to start off the Roger Elementary, the summer school podcast. I think that was great information. It looks like the students enjoyed that. Something that I didn't get a chance to experience in my time. We was kind of working off the little two-way pagers. But the podcast, I know this is the future and going forward with communication and reaching out to all the younger generation out there. So I wish them success and the future plans, whatever they might be, to keep that program going forward and going strong. In addition to the Project Excel, once again, the young authors, I think that's great as well. The students came out, they did their thing. I know it takes a lot of courage to get up there and talk in front of the mic sometimes. So it's good to see that they are adjusting. They're picking up skills. They're learning some real life skills on top of that. Finances and interviews and everything else is going to play a major role in that. So going forward, continue to do your thing, continue to tell your story, and hopefully that gets out there. And I'm looking forward to getting those signatures too. So definitely keep us posted on those conference dates so we can come out and support. Other than that, the reports, great reports. I always love hearing information and love hearing the progress that's being made and the effort that the team is putting forth to try to make things get completed in a timely fashion. I know real life situations happen, not even with the school district, but everywhere. Automotive is struggling as well. So I totally understand with the strain on the resources, but appreciate the effort and keep pushing forward. Once again, like I said, it's not for us, but it's for our students and our kids. So continue with that work as well. Let's see where we got to jump down. I guess I want to say congratulations to the new contracts. I know, the negotiations sometimes can be long and drawn out, and it'd be a lot of back and forth. But congratulations on those new contracts going forward. It sounds like we all came to some kind of agreement, which is a plus, to keep the district moving forward, to keep the district supported, and also try to keep our Pontiac people here where we are moving forward. So that's a plus as well. I think last we talked about with the Spanish books. Those that don't know, that was one of my favorite subjects back in high school. Yeah, that was one of my funnest classes. I mean, if anything, I went to school to participate in our Spanish class. A lot of fun there, a lot of jokes, a lot of time in, time out. But you know, it was Spanish, you know. But this is awesome to have the opportunity here. Learning a second language is obviously key right now. That's something you can have under your belt going forward, especially in the economy and with the market. So continue to push those foreign languages. I think that's a great opportunity. Obviously, getting new books is always a plus to get the kids motivated there as well. Outside of that, thank you, everyone. It's good seeing everyone tonight again. I hope all is well with everyone here and everyone that's watching us at home on their iPad, you know, computers, etc. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Okay. Thank you. Trustee Hannah.
Good evening. I won't
Good
reiterate everything that has already been said, but I do want to say it has been a pleasure, a delight having a live audience. It felt like we had a live audience today with all of our guests here. So thank you, Dr. Eccles and her team, for sharing with us today in person. Excited again about Mr. Jackson and Ms. Wiley, the work that they're doing with our students over the summer. Hopefully that's something that could be incorporated throughout the school year for our students to participate and help them with their reading and writing a little bit more, give them others an opportunity to become authors. So real happy to have that added to the after school program and hopefully throughout the year too. So that's all I have, and good night.
All right. Thank you. Trustee Turpin.
I think did a real good job of summing up everything that was going on, so I don't have to repeat it. But I do very thankful for the young authors presentation. I think that is so critical in their overall development, being able to express themselves and opening up their minds to just being able to talk about things that are important to them. I also want to, I hope everybody had a peaceful, restful summer. And I want to thank everybody who's returning, all our staff that's coming back. I want to thank the parents who continue to trust us to provide a quality education for their children. And I want and pray that our kids will have a successful year. So with that being said, have a good evening.
All right. Thank you. You up, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Gross.
Good evening.
Good
It's
evening.
so glad to see all of you. I enjoy to see you in person. And one of the things I asked the superintendent and the president some time ago is that let's have a meet the staff day. And we can all just, you know, because I love talking, you know, that meeting everybody. And I forget everybody's name, but I love seeing you. And we should do that one day. Just get name tags and just and Soup can feed us and we can just have a good day. You guys can take a couple hours off in the day and we can sit in here and just laugh and have a meet and greet. She's shaking her head over there.
Cold-blooded.
You know, I would say this is our last board meeting before the start of school. But as you know, we have a working president and there's still 7 days left in this month. So we might meet again next week. So if we don't, this will be our last meeting until school starts. So it'll be great, right? It'll be great to see everybody. And I think is it convocation? That's September 1st, right? So the next time we'll see each other, I think again, we have a working president. Unless we get a special meeting coming in here within the next 8 days. Yes, 30 days in August. We'll see everyone on the 1st of September. So that'll be fun. I'm looking. See, I was working and I missed that last year, but I'm not missing anything this year because I'm not working.
That's because he retired.
I'm retired.
You know, he's a work. He worked. He put in his time.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's because he retired. Because he's not working.
Yeah, get
you
that
know,
right. Because my wife has some friends in here and they'll tell us, Kevin said he ain't working. So I'm just kidding. I love you guys. What a night, a special night. And something important that the president said that I wanted everyone to recall and remember is that communicating is extremely important. It is not what we communicate. That's not as more important as it is to how we communicate and the respect we have for one another. because we have one purpose, one goal together, and that's to provide our children with the best education we can. All this other stuff we approve is just stuff to help us get to where we need to be. But our main goal is that we, no matter how much money we have, if we had $2, we still have to educate our children. If we had 300 million, we still have to educate our children. So the main thing is how we communicate with one another. And I really want us to start this year out right, to where we are together as one, together. We've had some various things that occur outside of these board meetings, and I won't go into any detail personally, some things. And there's some people that are very angry with the progress that we're doing and very upset. One, because I don't know if it's, was their ideal and they just didn't get it in, or they're not part of this. So they become very angry, envious, jealous. And so we're not going to allow that to affect us any further from this point forward. And we talk about this all the time, and we really made it clear at our board governance and where we are and our stance and what we're doing. You're going to see these faces continue. The majority of us will be back after November election. So you'll see us again for the next few years together. And we're doing what we can to ensure that this side of the room has less stress, and we'll take it on from this side of the room to ensure that your main focus is to what? Educate our children. Provide them with the best education as possible. All this other stuff, we'll deal with it at this table. But you guys got to be together on this, and we have been. And we have a superintendent that pushes that. And I'll never forget our conversation we had in the beginning when we talked about me coming back, and myself and Mr. Garrett. And one of the things we talked about is to avoid any type of favoritism and running and cliques and things like that, because that's not what we're about here in this district. And it's about together we stand, divided we fall, and we must stand together. And I'm elated at what I saw in this past school year, and I'm really excited in what I'm expecting to see this upcoming school year, because we got a great group here, people. And I just wanted to say that and put that out there, and see you at the convocation. See you at the convocation at our next meeting. And listen, I know we got a lot of work to do, but remember, if we're not having fun, our children aren't going to have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say this was a fantastic meeting. I am excited about the books that we received from our young people, and as far as the podcast. Thank you, Superintendent, with your staff and your cabinet. Our meetings are very informational. Like we give out a lot of information, and for those in the community who are misinformed, I'm glad that we have the platform and they can log on or go and watch our meetings, because some people are stuck with what once was, but we are in a new place, and I'm glad that the information is readily available. I'm looking forward to the start of the new school year. I hope that everyone had a beautiful summer, and that's it. Thank you. Good night.
Listen, there's not going to be any more meetings before coming. Unless, no, I'm just saying, no, listen. I do appreciate this board for allowing us to just be in the space for what Trustee Gross said. We needed to switch the attitude in the direction of the power structure of attacks that was happening on that side, and we need to be responsible in handling it from this side. And so that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to relieve our superintendent. We're supposed to relieve our staff. We're supposed to do that. And we wanted members on this team and elected officials. That's why I think people kind of ran unopposed. We kind of put it out there that this is a working board. And this is a board that's going to stay tight-knit. And this is a board that we're going to handle our business no matter what comes across our table or our bow, if that makes sense, right? And so last year, y'all heard me saying I wanted all the smoke, and I do. And and nothing's going to change from this year because you guys do an amazing job. And I know people at home can't see you, but there's like 13 people who are still tuning in. We've been averaging between 15, 16 people throughout the whole meeting. So that's the kind of stuff I kind of look at to see that people are interested in what we're doing. And when you begin to show and have fun and bring an excitement or enthusiasm to your job or what you're supposed to do, that translates to our students. We are dealing with live human beings. And this one young lady said something, and she was an author, and she said she's going to the 5th grade. No, I think she was in the 5th grade, the young lady. And she said, I wrote this story about my grandmother when I was little. I don't know if many people caught that. She said, when I was little. They come already ready for the smoke. Like they come like, I ain't no little kid. Give me what I'm supposed to get because I'm dealing with some heavy issues. And I'm dealing with some things at home, and you trying to play me like I can't handle it. So don't do that. Don't baby me in the sense where you don't think I can handle it. Just give me the assistance of what I need, and then expose me to what you think that will help me move forward because I'm not little. And that resonated with me because those are our kids. And when our kids come to you and they telling you, look, I ain't no kid. When I was little, my grandmother passing. When I was little. She in the 5th grade. You know, the twins talking about a dog that they have, that they learn to care about and be compassionate about. You know, I'm learning, I'm writing about being a superhero. You know, I'm going to save my time. I'm going to save the people from this dragon if this dragon approaches. Do you hear the mentality that if you come, so when I say I want all the smoke, I don't feel bad about it. I don't think it's them kids, they say it they want it. And so as a leader, I want to show them how to take that on and how to properly use that to motivate them to get them into the space where they need to be. And also get rid of haters. Some of us need to. And again, there are some very ugly people who do not like, that's the ugly side of this. And we spend too much time talking about it. So that's why I opened up the meeting saying we're going to have some fun. And if this ain't what the place that you want to be, you want to feel like you're unprofessional and your Birkin bag or whatever, or your Coogee sweater or whatever you got going on is not going to feel you comfortable, then you might, this not going to be the year for you. This not your year. This is the year of the fun people. This is the year that we showing off our kids. I would like to show, I don't care, we find one kid to show off in the beginning of the meeting, that we start to talk about us. We spend so much time talking about what we don't have, but these kids just told you they want it and we want it. And that's why we're here as a board, right? I want to thank the community for passing that millage, for allowing us to be a part of the game plan Mr. Graham and the staff put together. The language was very hard to understand. And by law, we had to do it that way. It's not something that we wanted to do. We wanted to flat out tell you, yes, vote for the millage. But by law, they tell you, they make it hard for you, not the wording. But you trusted us, and so you did that, you know. So I appreciate just being able to be in this space and in this time and be in this presence, right? Convocation is coming up. I won't be able to be here. I did decided to take a short stint out of the country, and so I did. I bid all of you well wishes on the beginning of school, but I'm super excited. I normally I wouldn't take my time off, right? I didn't feel comfortable. But when you have a team, you don't always have to be in that space. I don't have to always say, hey, you know what, I'm scared to leave, right? Thanks, Marcus. So I'm just saying. So convocation, I appreciate you. I thank you so much. I've been working through the summer. I haven't taken no time off. I'm taking the next 14 days off. And we're going to explore some other things. But when I come back, oh boy, when I come back, no, anything that's not cleared up by the time I get back, we ain't gonna even talk about it. It's just, you might just go ahead and leave, right? You just go ahead and forget about it. So my emails will be turned off, phones will be turned off. And I'm just going to enjoy my grandkids, my grandson, and watch them tell me all the fun things that they want to do, right? So need a motion on the floor to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Treasurer David Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Turpin.
Yes.
And Vice President Bowman.
Yes.
Sir, adjourned at what time?
We are adjourned at, what does it say? 7:48.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good night. Keep safe.